and over again. Add an event. Thank you, sir. It's my wife. It ain't. Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord. Standing in the need of prayer. It's me. It's me. See, George laughing at folk because he can sing. Hello? Yeah, George laughing at folk because he can sing, see. Yeah, you would. you probably wouldn't want to do it where people would notice, but you'll do it.
See, what happened was when we were kids, there were three of us brothers. And this group got up and sang at church. Man, we laughed. When we laughed, we got home, Mom told us, don't y'all ever laugh and go by there. That was a thing for me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever laugh at these people.
It sounded bad, though, but we
That's like I posted Miss Debbie up in her little song. I said, check her out. She thinks she can sing. She thinks she can sing, y'all.
Yeah, she can sing. I was looking at something she put on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, I reposted that.
Yeah.
Her with her little quartet dress on.
Ladies in black.
Man, what? Had on her little quartet dress. And hello. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Memphis 360. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting SVP TV Network, the owner and proprietor, Ms. Debbie McClennan. And I also want to thank you for supporting Memphis 360, which is yours truly, Mike Williams. We had a pretty good show last week. Facebook?
Not Facebook, YouTube.
Miss Debbie, I'm trying to do Facebook up in this joint.
You don't do it. We're about ready to start.
How do I know when it starts?
We're family for all your needs. SVP, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
We're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP TV.
And good evening. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Memphis 360. It has been an exciting week here in the city of Memphis. I want to thank you guys for supporting the SVP TV Network, owner and proprietor, Debbie McClennan. If you're looking for television ads or if you're looking for a television spot, please contact Miss Debbie McClinton of SVP TV Network. I also want to thank you for supporting yours truly, Mike Williams, and Memphis 360, a new television show that we've come up with since we left the Police Association, and we also left KWAM 990 because those shows belong to the Memphis Police Association, but Memphis 360 belongs solely to Mike Williams. This is not a job for me. Just to let you know, I have no advertisement and haven't been looking for any, and don't make any money from this. This is something that I want to do because I feel that I should stay in touch with the citizens of Memphis and throughout the network, and also because I feel that there are times when I have something to say myself. We had a wonderful show last week. We had Shelby County Clerk Wanda Halbert on the show, and she told us all about what was going on in the Shelby County Clerk's office. She told us about, what her future plans are for the clerk's office, and also the fact that she is running for re-election for Shelby County Clerk. This week has been something else. I think on yesterday, we had a shooting here in the city of Memphis. Recording artist, producer, entrepreneur, philanthropist, Young Dolph was shot and killed here in the city of Memphis on Airways Boulevard. He was at Makita's Cookies. Said that he always stopped by there when he came home, and he was there on yesterday getting cookies. As a matter of fact, there was a post up on Facebook that showed that he had been at Makita's as recently as last week. And he was back in town. Supposedly, he was going to be attending a charity event later that day that they were going to be giving out turkeys for Thanksgiving. So evidently the young man believed in giving back to his community. He believed in doing what he could to help give back to the community for all of the things that he has accomplished. And because he was world renowned, this young man was loved all over the world because of his music, done some amazing things. He was, I believe, born in Chicago, moved to the city of Memphis when he was 2 years old. And as he moved to the city of Memphis and adopted the city of Memphis as his own, he was actually started out making mixtapes, selling them in the streets, pushing his music, and he rose to prominence when it came to the rap industry. And because he was world renowned, this is going to have an effect on the music industry, and it's definitely going to have an effect here in the city of Memphis with everything that has transpired. And unfortunately, here in the city of Memphis, this is still a tragic incident that happened to be perpetrated upon an individual that is world renowned for his rapping ability. And what runs me crazy is the fact that all of these individuals now want to jump on the bandwagon, but how come it takes something like this for these individuals to jump on TV, jump on the news, jump on social media and say enough is enough and we got to do something and this cannot be tolerated and all of that good stuff. And it's because it's Young Dolph. Now my heart and my prayers go out to Young Dolph and his family. truly. And I'm not trying to make light of or bring any negativity upon the death of young Dolph. No young man at the early age of 35, 36 should be gunned down in the city of Memphis. And no young man should be gunned down while he's simply trying to buy some cookies. But I also want to say that we've had hundreds of young men and women. We've had grandmothers. We've had babies. We've had juveniles. We've had women that have been killed in this city this year alone. I think we're up to about 280 homicides here in the city of Memphis. And for a city the size of 600,000 plus individuals, it is crazy. These are the same individuals that have been in office. A lot of them for most of the time that the crime has been increasing in this city. You know, I keep saying that in about 2011, 12, 13, what have you, as we were with the Memphis Police Association, we put billboards up saying, danger, do not enter. This city does not support public safety. That's when crime had began to increase. And I think that it could have been controlled at that particular time. But you had a lot of people who at that time did not believe that there was a problem. They would not admit that there was a problem. They didn't want to come to grips with there was a problem. Because in the black community, we don't like to say that, you know, we got some dirty laundry. But who is it affecting? Who has it been affecting? Who is the predominant ethnic group that has been killed in this city? Who is the predominant ethnic group that has been affected in this city? Us, African Americans. And now this thing has grown so big to whereas we don't know if in fact we're going to be able to get this under control. And another thing that happened, on my way to the studio tonight, they were having a vigil out at Makita Cookies on Airways in response to young Dolph being gunned down. Breaking news, shots fired at Makita's Cookies on Airways. And you had another young man that has been shot as they were out there doing a vigil at Makita's Cookies. When will it stop? Nobody knows. I think all of those individuals that got on TV last night, the politicians, calling for peace, calling for calm. I saw Police Chief C.J. Davis calling for calm. And that's another thing that I want to hit on too. Because everybody's asking, where is Chief C.J. Davis? What is Chief C.J. Davis going to do about this? Chief C.J. Davis is missing in action. Chief C.J. Davis is doing nothing to fight this crime. I want you guys to understand something. Last year, we broke a record. for homicides. We had 332 homicides. That was before Chief C.J. Davis got here. Crime has slowly started to increase over the last couple of years prior to Chief C.J. Davis getting here. This is a problem that Chief C.J. Davis inherited. We brought in a new police chief, where Mayor Strickland and the powers that be in the city brought in a new police chief. But they threw this police chief into the fire because crime was already out of control. Crime was already rampant. Crime was already through the roof. And Chief C.J. Davis, I don't know if she really realized what she was inheriting. Because it wasn't going to stop. It is continuing to climb. Because we're on a record pace now to actually break the record of 332 homicides, which was set last year. And if they continue in the vein that they're going in, it is predicted, because you can't tell what the future holds, but it is predicted that it's going to exceed the 332 homicides that occurred last year. Now, I digress. They get the shooting again up at Makita's Cookies on Airways tonight. So evidently, this is not over. I don't know why there is a beef. I don't know what's going on out there in those streets. I do know that if you look back and you remember, young Dolph and some other individuals had some run-ins. You had other individuals going out to Castalia. You had, I think, young Dolph, he was shot out in Los Angeles. He was shot multiple times. That was a couple of years ago, 2017, 18, 19. But you also had him shot at in North Carolina. I think he was shot at, they fired over 100 rounds. And he even did a song about it. You know, when you look at that rap lifestyle, this seems to be the nature of a lot of the rap lifestyle. I'm not saying all. You got some good rappers out there. You got rappers that are doing great and wonderful things. You got rappers that possibly never get involved in a lot of the other side of the rap game, because a lot of these guys are coming from gangs. A lot of these guys are coming from the inner city. A lot of these guys are rapping about what they have really lived. They're rapping about their life. They're rapping about how they came up. They're rapping about the things that they did. A lot of these guys also, in order to rise in the rap game and to finance their rap careers, they got to do some things. They're involved in some things to be able to support their careers until they can get to a point to whereas they don't necessarily have to rely on what they did to be able to get there, if that makes sense. It's a tragedy what's happening here in the city of Memphis, and the citizens don't deserve this because they're getting caught in the crossfire. They're getting caught in the crosshairs. You know, a couple of shows ago, I wanted to talk about the switches. that they have that's going on the Glocks now. And if you don't know about the switches, you need to look it up. You can just Google it. That's what I did, because when I heard about it, I was like, what is this that they're talking about, these switches? It's a little device that goes on the back of a Glock, and it makes the Glock almost like a machine gun. I'm talking about a Glock pistol. But you're going to see a lot of these young guys have extended clips with these Glocks. And it rapid fires. I think, like when they say young Dolph in North Carolina was shot at, or it was 100 rounds fired at him, you got to be shooting pretty rapidly to get 100 rounds off. And they are finding switches here in the city of Memphis. Those are deadly devices in the hands of individuals that are perpetrating crimes. Now, everybody wants to know, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We got almost 280 homicides already. We just had young Dolph that was killed on yesterday. We got an individual that was shot. So that just lets you know it's not going to stop. They have, whomever did this has the intestinal fortitude to go back to the scene, the police in this city. And then some people are going to say, well, Michael, the police are not the answer to the question. More police are not the answer to the question. And I will tell you that I've never said police are the answer to the question. But when you have violence going on in this city, you have to have individuals that are going to confront that violence. You don't have anybody in a political position that has the intestinal fortitude to turn C.J. Davis loose. You want to ask her to do the job, but you want to handcuff her at the same time. You can't do both. You cannot ask individuals to go out here and to handle the crime problem in this city and not give them the ability to be able to do that. You can't do it. It does not work like that. You have to allow the police to be the police. Because I'm going to tell you, these young people out here, and the crazy part about it is you already know. And I'm not saying go out here and just handle people. No, don't go out here and just handle people. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But what I am telling you is that you have to allow Chief C.J. Davis and her department to go out here and police this city. Now, do you need to put things in place that are going to engage the youth? Yes. Do you need to put things in place that are going to give the parents the ability to have conflict resolution and parenting skills? And you got to do all of that. You got to do all of that, but you have to get the crime under control at the same time. You got to have parallel initiatives going on at the same time. But a lot of people are not going to like that. And they're not going to like it because we have been coddling these individuals that have been perpetrating the crimes. Right here in the city of Memphis. Michael, what do you mean we've been coddling the individuals that perpetrate the crimes right here in the city of Memphis? We've been coddling them in that, oh no, don't hurt my baby. Oh no, don't do this. Oh no, the police are so whatever. Now, for those police officers that are stepping outside of the law and they are doing things that are not conducive to treating citizens like citizens, they need to be taken care of. Those police officers that are out here and they talking crazy to people and all of that, they need to be taken care of. They need to be fired. They need to be disciplined. But at the same time, we do need those police officers that are going to go out there and get after these folks. We need those police officers that are not afraid to stand in people's face when they standing there with a Glock with a switch, when they standing there with those Dracos, when they're standing there shooting up the club, when they're shooting up houses, when they're shooting up apartment complexes, when they're shooting up Makita's cookies. We got people that are being gunned down in the streets here in the city of Memphis. We got individuals that are afraid. I've had people to actually approach me to say that they are afraid in this city. They're afraid to come out. They're afraid to go to the grocery store. They're afraid to go to the corner store. Some of them are afraid to be out in their neighborhoods. You got individuals that pay taxes in this city, and they deserve a sense of security. That's why you pay your taxes. But see, but nobody want to talk about that. You know, I hear, well, you know, we need to have these discussion groups, and we need to have these peace marches. We need to, you know, and don't get me wrong, I applaud those individuals that on Saturdays they want to go out there and march. I applaud those people that want to sit around and strategize and all of that. I applaud those. Oh, I'm sick of this. Oh, I am so sick of this crime. I'm sick of this violence. I'm sick of everything that's happening. But that's what people want to hear. So we'll say it because that's what people want to hear at that particular time, because all of the cameras are there. The spotlight is there. But when these individuals go back and shoot up the scene of the murder from yesterday on today, that tells you that they don't care. These young folk, man, they on that lean, they on that syrup, they on that perk, they doing these faux bars, they doing these pills. They hyped. And because they are hyped, they just kind of doing what they do. And they doing what they do because they're being allowed. And then we have to deal with the justice system. And we have to deal with legislation that if these individuals commit these crimes, then guess what? They're going to be held accountable and not have this revolving door that keeps allowing them the ability to come back out here in these streets. We got so many jobs out here now, and we got these young people don't want to work. We have to stop coddling our youth and our young people. We have to stop enabling our youth and our young people. Our parents didn't do it. Their parents didn't do it for them. There was an expectation of success, and somewhere along the way, we lost it. We allowed it to go away. We allowed it to wane. We did. And why we do that, I do not know. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy, and I think we need to finally come to the realization where the rubber meets the road and say we have to do something. I think Chief C.J. Davis and them have started to, well, these guys are driving these cars all crazy. I think they're putting mechanisms in place to whereas they're starting to confiscate these cars. So she is moving in the right direction, but it's probably going to take her some time. And it's also going to take support from the mayor's office. It's going to take support from the city council. It's going to take support from the city leaders. It's going to take support from preachers. It's going to take support from parents. We can't just drop this in her lap. And I am not defending her because I'm a former police officer and she's the chief of police. I don't know C.J. Davis. I've been watching C.J. Davis. I am one of the main proponents that thought it should have been someone from here in the city of Memphis who should have been put in there as the director. If they wanted a black female, they could have put Sharonda Hampton in there, who has 30 plus years on the job, and she's a native Memphian. But I am not opposed to Chief C.J. Davis coming in. And I am not opposed to Chief C.J. Davis coming in because, okay, if that's what the mayor says, okay, fine. Hey, that's what it is. If, because actually they had closed the selection process for chief of police. And Mayor Strickland opened it back up to allow Chief C.J. Davis to get in. Now, she's done some good things all over, down in Atlanta and some of those other places that she's been. She's done some good things. When I talk to her, she's a very intelligent young lady. I think she has some really good ideas. But see, I'm from Memphis, Chief Davis. And I know if the power brokers in this city do not support you, if they do not give the mayor the ability to support you, if the city council do not support you, if the ministerial community in this city do not support you, and if the parents do not support you, see, you are in a precarious situation. Because they bring you in from the outside. I see you brought one of your individuals from Atlanta to be one of your deputy chiefs. And hopefully you guys are going to do some good things that are going to shake this city up. But you have to have the support. And if you do not get the support, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything. And in saying that, we're going to continue to have young black boys and girls, black grandmothers, black mothers, babies that are going to continue to die in this city. And to my white friends, I don't want you to think that I'm leaving you out, but you're not being killed on the regular in this city daily. I'm not trying to turn this into a race thing, but this has nothing to do, well, yes it does. It has something to do with you guys because you could get caught in the crossfire. You got your cars being broken into. You got your homes being broken into. You got, so you are being victimized. We had a young white male, I'm not going to forget him, that was killed about a month ago who attended Rhodes College. But that was the first time that I saw the mayor actually get upset in public. The first time. But it was because, and no disrespect to my Caucasian brethren, but it was because it was a white guy who was attached to Rhodes College. But prior to that white male being shot at Rhodes College, we had already had hundreds of blacks that had been killed in the city, and nobody said a word. And even if they did say a word, it was nothing resembling the emotions that was brought forth or the exuberance when that young man was killed, because that's the first time I saw the mayor, and it blew my mind. I had to do double takes. That was when the mayor got on TV and said, "I'm sick of this sugar honey iced tea." He didn't say sugar honey iced tea, though. He actually said the word. So what are we going to do? How do you think we need to move forward? I told you about me. I say go to war in this city. I'm a soldier. I think it's sad when hard-working individuals that have worked hard all of their lives to accumulate whatever it is that they've accumulated, individuals that work hard to pay the taxes for the upkeep of this city, to have to live in fear. And then you got individuals that are afraid of their own kids. Now, a lot of us know that would have never happened back in our day, because our parents would tell you in a minute, I brought you here, I'll take you out. They would take care of it. They didn't want you bringing disrespect to their household. They didn't want you bringing disrespect to their name. They didn't want you bringing disrespect to their community. People took pride in their communities. They took pride in their schools. They took pride in the jobs that they did in this city. Memphis was a beautiful place. Memphis was a place that everybody wanted to come to. Memphis was a place that everybody wanted to live. But it's not just happening here in the city of Memphis. It's happening all over the United States, where you have metropolitan areas and you have a high concentration of African Americans, unfortunately. But that also means that a lot of the politicians in those places are African American as well. Unfortunately. You know, that's a hard thing to say and a hard pill to have to swallow. But you have this young man, young Dolph, who's born in Chicago, moved to the city of Memphis when he was approximately 2 years old, claimed Memphis to be his home. Works hard, doing whatever it was he was doing with the music industry and all of that. I've been watching social media all day, and people all over the world are putting up posts or sending their condolences to young Dolph. And then I think he leaves behind a couple of children and his family members. That is hard for anybody. But hey, I want to talk to you about it. So we are live right now on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Uverse. We're live on Fire and Apple TV at this particular time. So I'd like to talk to you. Tell me, what do you think about everything that's going on? How do you feel about the whole situation? How do you feel that this could be fixed? What do you think the politicians in this city can do to help? The politicians can't fix this problem by themselves. And I don't want anybody to get hung up because I say the politicians, or I say the ministers, or I say the community leaders, or I say the parents. Nobody can fix this or take full responsibility, or C.J. Davis, take full responsibility for what's going on in this city. It has to be a collaboration of all people from all walks of life, from all professions, from all statuses. Whether you be a power broker in this city, whether you be a politician in this city, whether you be a pastor or a minister in this city, whether you have some of these nonprofit organizations that are going on in this city. It has to be a collaboration of all of that. Now, I want to ask you, just for my own personal, and so that other people will know how you feel about all of the things that are going on in this city. How do you think we fix this? The number to call is 901 244 6874. 901 244 6874. Give me a call. Let me know what it is you think we can do to fix this. Because if not, we're going to have more killing. A lot of people were saying, that they hope that this was over with the shooting of young Dolph. But evidently, it was not over. Because we had the incident that happened on today, where we had individuals that actually came and shot up the memorial that was going on out at Makita's Cookies on Airways. We're live here in the studio at SVP TV Network, and we are talking about the homicide that happened on yesterday, where renowned rapper Young Dolph was gunned down at Makita's Cookies. And we're talking about all of the violence that's occurring here in the city of Memphis. We're talking about how everybody was running to the microphones on yesterday evening to say, all of the politicians, oh, this is too much. Oh, we need to do something. Crime is getting rampant in this city. And we talked about how all of the individuals in this city have been saying for the longest that crime is rampant in this city. Then they go back out there and they shoot Makita's Cookies up again tonight, where another young male was shot. We talked about how all of the individuals that have been killed in this city, we've had hundreds of homicides before Young Dolph, and not taking anything away from the homicide or the shooting of Young Dolph, but those children, those parents, those mothers that were shot and gunned down here in the city of Memphis, for whatever reason, they're just as important to their families as Young Dolph is to the world. But we heard nothing. And what's going to happen a month from now? What's going to happen 2 months from now? Are we just grandstanding because Young Dolph was killed here in the city of Memphis? Are we grandstanding because the spotlight is on the city of Memphis? And we're just saying what we think people want to hear? Because a lot of these individuals and politicians have been in place for years as the crime rate increased in this city, and individuals have been telling them what's going to happen. But no, nobody has been responsive. So now we want to get on TV. Now we want to talk about how bad the crime is. We've had babies killed in this city. We had 332 homicides last year. We had about 280 homicides already this year, and we have not completed the year. And if we continue at the rate that we're going to exceed the 332 homicides from last year. And then everybody asks, where is Chief C.J. Davis? Where is Chief C.J. Davis? Why isn't Chief C.J. Davis doing something? Why hasn't Chief C.J. Davis shown up? But I say we can't throw this in the lap of C.J. Davis again. Because C.J. Davis inherited this. C.J. Davis was thrown into the fire. C.J. Davis was brought from outside. C.J. Davis, I believe, didn't have a clue about what she was getting in. And I don't think C.J. Davis knows the politics of parents. It's going to take the city leaders. It's going to take the community leaders. Everybody has to be a part of getting this city back on track. But you're going to have to allow individuals to have a strong hand. Because, see, these young people that are out here running around with all of these guns, they ain't playing nice. They don't care about killing babies. They don't care about killing grandmothers. They don't care about killing mothers in their apartments. They don't care about killing children and shooting children in this city. But you want everybody to play nice with them. Oh, they have rights. Oh, and they do. They have their civil liberty rights. I'm not trying to take that away from them people. But see, I'm one of the ones, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you either. You got to, if you go to war, you cannot go to war with somebody that's trying to kill you and you going in there with a flower lily. You can't do it. You can't go to war and somebody's slinging bullets at you and they got switches out there which make these Glocks shoot like machine guns, going, hey, sir, please come with me. That's the problem now. That's why they have no respect for the police, because we have watered the police department and their authority down so much. Now, I don't care what you say. I'm not telling you that the police should go out here and strong-arm people. But I am telling you that you have to allow the police to get at some of these folks. I am telling you that we need programs in the community centers. I am telling you that we need a lot of the grassroots nonprofits that are happening in this city right now. We need to beef them up and give them the ability to affect more of the community. Time for meetings all over the place is over. We started meeting back in 2012, and we still having meetings. You got all these people coming to the table that want to control what's going on in these streets, and they don't have a clue about what's going on in these streets. We're allowing people to take over interstates, allowing people to shut down intersections. Everybody that's out there today listening and looking, you hear gunfire all over the place. Where do they do that at? Well, let me tell you where I know they did it at. They did it in Kuwait. They did it in Afghanistan. But I was in a war zone. I wasn't sitting on my deck at my house drinking some Douce and smoking a cigar. I had on full battle rattle. I had on a helmet. I had on a vest. I had an M16. I had a dude with me that carried an M60 machine gun. Everywhere I went in Kuwait as a warrant officer. And he would have killed anything that came close. That's war, people. The only people that are being killed in this city is the innocent. And we're allowing the perpetrators to go free. There were 3 individuals that were apprehended out there tonight when they went back and shot up Makita's Cookies. Now, I don't know if these were the guys that were involved, but I know the police had 3 individuals in custody. But we're at the point to whereas they don't have any fear of going back to the scene of where they just committed a homicide and shooting it up again. At some point, somebody got to be scared of something. I don't want to be the only one running around scared in this city. I don't want you to be the only one running around scared in this city. Hell, I want them to be scared in this city. Oh, no, Michael, no, we don't want them to be scared. They're just babies. Man, we got 13-year-olds shooting 13-year-olds. So what? We got 12-year-olds that are driving getaway cars. We got 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are committing homicides in this city at an alarming rate. And you can call in. The phone lines are open. The number to call is 244-6874. 244-6874. I want to know how you feel about this. How do you feel? How do you, I mean, you got people that are stressed out. I mean, it's just too much. It's too much going on. Somebody just texted me, no, I am not running for mayor. I don't want to run for mayor. I don't have to run for a political position to talk the way that I'm talking because I am a citizen of this city. Don't nobody pay me for advertisement for this show. I pay Miss Debbie McClendon out of my pocket because, number one, I don't want nobody saying that I'm taking money from anybody. And number two, I want to be able to say what I want to say and not what other people want to say. And Miss Debbie looking at me like, you should have advertising, Michael. I should. But then I'd have to register with Shelby County government and say I got another job. I don't have another job. I am saying this and doing this because this is the way that I feel. This is the way that I've always felt. My tone, my rhetoric, it's never changed. I'm unbought and unbossed. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people feel as though they can't control me. They can't control my mouth. But I'm not saying anything that's just crazy. She has more credibility in the streets. I wanted Frank to come in because church. You don't have these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds in the church. So you really don't know what's going on. And for those that are in the church, a lot of them have been churched most of their lives. But a lot of these individuals that are out here perpetrating these crimes and doing what they do, they've strayed away some kind of way, and they got a whole nother culture going on out here. I'm going to tell you, this is not over. And unless we position ourselves quickly to be able to combat this, there are going to be some people that are going to get hurt. Some innocent people that are going to get hurt. And, you know, I was thinking it's like the pandemic is starting to wane off a little bit. I don't know what the winter's going to do, whether it's going to pick up or anything like that. Jesus. Miss Debbie just showed me a sign and said, I got 1 minute. I didn't even know I would talk that long. I couldn't even get nobody to talk to me. That is so sad. Anyway, I'm not running for a political office. This is Mike Williams, the citizen, that's just fed the freak up. That has a show called Memphis 360. Want to go from the boardroom to the streets. Want to bring people in that are doing things and that are providing support to the community. But I also want to talk to those individuals that are out there in the street where the rubber meets the road. Because we have to bring the two together to be able to fix the woes, ills, and I really appreciate it.
There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis that I don't already know.
There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis.
From the boardroom to the streets.
I don't already know.
Memphis 360.
In the meantime, in between time, we got folks shooting people up out the frame. Ain't nobody said a word. We've become accustomed to people dying in this city. Dying in this city.
Yeah. It's Memphis 360.
Turning the TV on and the news and see our loved ones.